We are Kiwi Brick Exchange, a Bricklink seller located in Wellington, New Zealand. We resell on Bricklink and BrickOwl, and these videos will provide you a behind the scenes look into our systems and processes. Well, welcome into the first vlog for February, and we are here standing in our Bricklink store, and this month we are getting back to the basics. And to start the month, we're going to be reorganizing a number of parts of the store, getting rid of things that are just not working, and at the end of the video taking you through a bit of a store tour of everything that we've got going on. So let's get into it. And here we have our organizer system working really well. We, at the end of the last vlog, talked about using this clip system, which has been really successful to get parts into the store. And it means I basically just work my way from a container all the way down. And so now we're onto this bottom row for filling up. And that means that basically our entire store, barring one or two items, are getting full, which is what we're aiming for. We've got 3 orders that have already been paid and packed. They're going to be going out tomorrow, and a couple more on the desk. And over on the bed are a number of new additions and things in the store. So we had a couple of good deals going last week, and so we've decided to buy 2 lots of the Tuxedo Cat and 2 of the Flower Bouquet. Both have a fairly good part out, and at the same time as getting that, we got a couple of the gift with purchase for Chinese New Year. 2 have already up on Marketplace, and we'll keep 2 of those. We have an interesting little bag for a Star Wars mock here that we'll share in a couple of weeks, hopefully. And then all of this here is basically stock that we will be organizing and sorting from market. And so what I'm trying to do is a couple of things. I've got a builder fig going on here with 150 hair pieces, heads, torsos, legs, and accessories, and a number of poly bags, which you would have seen in the last haul, and then starting to build up a couple of sets. We've obviously got some smaller sealed sets, then we've got older things like this 41161 Disney set, some older Technic ones in boxes that we'll probably need to get rid of the boxes, but the instructions are there, and I've just placed an order for 1 part to finish the Brickhead set. The other thing we're going to be doing this week is we ordered a bunch of base plates from Mighty Ape again because they were on special, and we're going to be setting up our minifigures a complete different way this week because we want to be able to take them to things like a market. And so we're going to be using these base plates to organize, slightly changing our bag system, and so we'll take you through that shortly. Besides that, the store is looking very full, nice and tidy over in that corner, maybe not so much under the desk, and you can see we've got a number of things ready to be uploaded. Again, this is all of our bulk parts sorted into part type, and got another bag of some modified tiles to go in. Still some Bionicle to sort. Watchers of the channel will know. I'll get to that. I have done 1 already, so that is good. And we picked up this Lego Bionicle DVD at an op shop, so not sure how much value is in that one, but we might just add that to the shelf. And if we take you over to the store, we are at 689 orders so far, and that's creeping up. Fans up to 47. Our total items are sitting at 83,720, which is a little bit down on last week, just because we haven't got a lot of time to upload and getting close to that 10,000 lot mark. But there is going to be lots of things going in the store this week. Obviously, we've got 2 sets over there, or 2 lots of the sets for part out. And we've also just bought a seal box of the new series minifigures. We'll probably do a few of them as minifigures, but mostly getting new parts into the store. And then over on the shelf, we had a few additions. There were some nice little Funkos and this Grogu light at the second-hand store this week, or thrift shop. So I went and purchased those, and they'll somehow find their way onto the shelf. These 2 here are the Lego Year of the Snakes going out, and then we've managed to sell the transporter, or the part transporter, that was in one of our bulk hauls that we recently purchased. So that's going to be the plan. This week we are back at our full-time job, so it's going to be trying to find the hours throughout the week as we get set up there. And you'll see that I've got a nice blank slate for my whiteboard. I just got to do some things with our 3D printer. But that 146 subs to go, creeping up very close, and we're thinking of doing a bit of a bundle giveaway for that. So if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. When we hit that 1,000, we're going to be doing a nice little giveaway involving some fun little things, probably a few minifigures and more. Alright, well that is looking like a very clean and tidy bed for a Monday afternoon. We've just got back from work and we did a bit of sorting yesterday. And what I've done is basically put all of our sealed sets for part out and things under here. We've got some completed sets there. This one here is a Technic set. and other things in there, and that way it's just stored a little bit nicer, ready for a part out. I want to try and get maybe 1 or 2 more of the tuxedo cats and botanicals before parting out, but we'll leave them there at the moment. And then on this side here we have a number of sets, and we have just sold one of the Year of the Snake gift with purchase. We got these with an order from Mighty Ape. Mighty Ape seems to be our go-to at the moment for new sets and things, and so we bought those tuxedo cats and things on discount, which are a really good part out already. Plus we got each of these, so this one's going for $20 to a customer in Christchurch, and 3 more to sell. Got 2 listed on Marketplace, and we'll see how we go with that one. And I've just put an order to another Bricklink store here in New Zealand to complete the Marvel brick heads, which is really good, and a couple other sets. So either setting it up for a market or there if we want to list them on the store. So there's enough space in there, I think, to have maybe 10 to 15 sets in the store, even though I see we don't sell them, which is good. And if I swing you around to the store, we've counted through half of this so far, about 500 parts sitting in here ready to upload and put away, and we'll finish off that file with this one here. Promise I'm going to be tackling the Bionicle next, and then starting to get a little bit more into our bulk minifigure parts, which we haven't uploaded for a while, but they do sell really, really well, and had a lot of orders recently for them from stuff we listed a couple of weeks ago. So we want to keep generating more orders, a couple more minifigures as well to list here. And then we've got a bunch of stickered parts, and I'm probably going to message a couple of people who buy from us regularly to see if they want those. I know Danny, if you're watching, has mentioned this before when we had a bit of a chat at the Brick Show, so I made a bit of a bulk lot there for him. And then we've got a bunch of printed tiles, which I think we might go about sorting and adding to the store, as well as another upload. Not sure what I'm going to do with these little bits, because I do want to test some of them and see if they work first, so we'll see how we go for that. But that's basically the plan. And then, as I mentioned, I think already, I've got the base plates here to set up our minifigures. Probably going to be either in that bottom drawer there or all on the left side. 5 base plates, which we'll be able to set up our figures for, and then again be able to transfer them if we're selling at a craft market, which is kind of the plan at the moment. I did reach out to the organizer of our local brick show to see what the cost was of having a vendor table, and obviously they need to make the cost back, and it's a bit of a fundraiser, I'm sure, for the local user group, but just not going to be worth our time, unfortunately, for the cost. And so I haven't done that yet, but hey, maybe we run our own one at some point this year or do a bit of a sale. So that's the plan. We're going to do some more sorting and uploading, and man, that number is creeping up nice and close, 142, which is fantastic. And we've got a public holiday on Thursday, so we're going to get lots of work done in the store, but besides that, we're back at work. It's going to be trying to get as much as we can. So I've set myself a goal for 4,000 parts as well, doing some minifigure organising, and still waiting for the click and collect for our Series 27. We bought a couple of sets of those, and hopefully get those in the store nice and quickly. Time for some more uploading. Wednesday in the store, and we've just had a pick a brick turn up. We've got a whole bunch of tiles to restock, as we were quite low on those. And I don't know if anyone else does this, but this is a bunch of parts that I've ordered, and Lego took so long to send this one in particular. Normally they're not too bad, a couple of weeks. This one's been about 7 or 8 weeks, and I have no idea why I've ordered most of these parts. So hopefully I'm not alone out there, but I know the Urukai swords have been quite popular, and some helmets and things, but I have no idea why I've got pink slopes in there. So who knows? I think I was thinking also that I was ordering a bunch of minifigure heads to do either a sort of coloured chart or a mock, but I honestly can't remember. So hey, they're there. And we've got a whole bunch of the Series 27 minifigures. We bought a couple of boxes, or a couple of sets rather. The wee one wanted a couple of them, and the rest are going to the store. These are all the Beastmasters, which we have managed to identify using the minifig scan app. If you haven't done that already, it scans multiple and has been really good. Interestingly though, it was a sealed box, and we got 4 of the, not even on the front cover, these ones here, and only 2 of another one. So not sure if that's everyone's experience. I did hear some people saying that they weren't getting full sets and boxes and things. We got what we wanted, which was the Beastmaster, and the wee one wanted one of those. And what I think for most of them, besides the Beastmasters, which I'll probably do as either a full minifigure and part out the shields and things, or as a complete set, is put one of each in the store and the rest do them as parts. And that way, those sort of headpieces and the parrots and animals, it does just have a bit better value than just putting them in as minifigures, which seems to be what everyone else does. So that's kind of our thinking behind that. So we've got them sitting over there and just behind me, and continue working on our Star Wars mock that is coming very shortly. Base plate sitting over there. It is, even though it's Wednesday, I have not been able to do anything in the store, and I've got this sitting ready to upload, which is about a 700 item upload. We haven't even got anything in the store this week, so that's going to be the plan for tonight and tomorrow. Managing to get some time, which is fantastic, and we really want to get to organising those minifigures so that they're all set up, ready to go. An update as well, we've had another friend of ours sort another tub similar to this. They were about a quarter of the way through that at the end of last week, so hopefully they're getting close to halfway. So in a couple more weeks we'll be able to get that back, add it to our bulk containers, and then really start to do some more part outs of the categories, which is going to get things in the store. And we've been talking to a lot of different sellers this week about a number of things, looking at another purchase that we might be doing in the future, although I'm not sure what that will look like, and chatting with some other sellers about upcoming events. And on the weekend we had a bit of a chat, which I don't want to give too much away, but watch this space, and the next couple of weeks we'll be able to share a lot more, and really excited about the upcoming project. That's as much as I'm going to tell you, and we'll see what happens. But more getting things in the store. Aim is to get the minifigures in and these parts in tonight, as well as this one, which should bump up by about 1,500 parts. Just working through this BrickStore file and consolidating it, or getting our new lots at the moment. 1,361 items, and man am I liking our new system with the clips. So whenever we're going around picking an order and pulling things out of drawers, if we spot a drawer has enough space, which actually this one probably does, for another lot, you know, it's not going to have anything really unless we get more of these, we're able to put a clip on it, just like so. And then when I am taking the lots, which are all in order on the BrickStore file, and we've talked about how we do that previously, so watch another vlogs or all the other vlogs to get that method. But we're taking these ones here and putting them into the store, and it just means that we can work quite methodically down and making sure that our organisers are full to a certain point. And we're now down to our WI. Now these organisers here go all the way up to J, K and L, and then we've got two more over there. Now at this stage there's not a lot of clips on there, but if I pull out this J for you, you can see there's actually heaps. So the idea is that we're getting down to the point where we're starting to put things into there, basically is the cutoff point for doing any more sorting out of our used. And that gives me a really good idea of whether I need to buy new equipment, new organisers, and it kind of preps me in advance so that if I'm working through a BrickStore file like this, I'm not getting to the point going, oh, I just need to squish it in this store and chuck it, this drawer and chuck it in, or, you know, mix lots too much. I mean, that drawer is probably a bad example because it's very mixed. But again, it's quite easy for me to go through picking these orders. The other thing we're doing is trying to put lots of the part type together in different colours. And that way, when we're seeing a drawer, we open it up, we see that part type, we're just quickly looking for the colour. It's an easy pick. Everything we're trying to do is to maximise that pick path so that we're saving time, and we can do things like uploading parts, parting out, rather than spending too long picking orders. So I think this is a good method, and definitely I would say is making sorting used worthwhile. And this is continuing to go on our 42 kilogram haul video. And if you want to get a little bit more of a deep dive into how we do Lego hauls and things, then I've done a video which actually shares the current value that we've uploaded for that, which is pretty impressive, I think, and how we went about buying it, and some more tips of buying Lego hauls, and just general advice, I think. And so that is a members video. If anyone that's interested in it, let me know any more details, and I think is really worth its time as well. We will be sharing general tips, but that does do a much deeper dive. Just catching up with a few vlogs this week, and Noah's given us a shout out for the Brickshed logos that we created for him to fit in with his logo. And if you're after any 3D printed parts, either custom build, we do things like name badges, or obviously cool little logos like that, then send us a message over on Instagram, just Kiwi Brick Exchange, or flip me an email, kiwibrickexchange@gmail.com, and we can see what we're doing, because it's a lovely little project here and really ties in nicely with Noah's logo. So hopefully we can help out a few more people. So yeah, send us a message and we can chat through pricing and kind of what you're thinking of. And even if it's just a file, happy to create just a file if you've got a 3D printer yourself. out here on a Thursday morning. Good excuse to go and pick up some Lego when you can go 5 minutes down the road for the beach. We'll head back home shortly and show you what we got. Just back home now, and here it is, a nice little Spider-Man set, which does have a couple of really good figures in there. I saw a few that don't seem to belong to this one at all, but we are looking for the Spider-Man 99, I believe, is the figure for set 76114, and I don't see it here, so I'm really hoping it's in here. But we've got some Lego in pretty good condition, figures separated out, a couple of interesting parts and things there. Saw a few Star Wars and DC, so we'll have a look at that. And then we've got this bulk lot, and it's nice to straight away see on the top a few minifigure parts as well. So let's tip this out and see what's in there. So that is a quick 5 to 10 minute sort, and what I've done is basically tipped everything out on the bed and then just worked my way by pulling it slow towards this way. Then I managed to go around this way just to reach and the other side. And what I'm looking for is basically just a couple of things. Number one, if we see anything gross and yuck, that's not Lego. We want to get that out nice and quick, stuff like this. Then we're looking for any sun damage, and you can kind of see parts and things that are looking a bit worse for wear or non-Lego. Again, go in those ones. Then really we're just looking for a couple of things. Torsos and legs, which I could not find a single torso, but I do like that cloth there. I'm going to have a look at that in a second. And then we're looking at accessories or any other minifigure parts. The other thing I'm looking for is things like this, printed tiles that might give me an idea of what might be in the slot. And even just from doing that quick search there, this is such a big mixed lot, I'm not even going to bother trying to figure out what sets I might have. However, there are some interesting things here. We've got a Lego branded plunger, a couple of different accessories. Looks like a red ponytail, nice helm there. I saw an interesting looking quiver that looks a bit specific. So again, there could be a bit of value just in those minifigure parts. Then obviously we've got the ones that were identified, and I just saw such a mix in there. It looks like we've got a Scarecrow helmet, possibly the Scarecrow in here, a couple of different pieces, Simpsons, Star Wars. It's just a big jumbled bunch of who knows what. So for the price we paid, which was $100 for all of this, the bulk is probably about 3 kilograms. So, that's a good amount of bulk that we can get in, and the parts will definitely get our money back for that. Then we've got obviously minifigure parts and a full set that we can probably get, minus say one figure. That's going to go in, and then you've obviously got bigger things like a plate and some parts that might be able to sort of up that value. So all in all, pretty successful. Not quite the big giant minifigure that we're expecting. We were hoping for the $100 minifigure in here, which would have been paying it off, and then everything else is the profit. So we're going to get to adding all of this to our bulk. We'll have a quick look through a couple of accessories that I haven't seen before and see what minifigures we've got that we can add. Right, we did say that this week would be a back to the basics, and we've just got back from purchasing these 2 storage containers. They're going to live just up here because currently I still have these in the store. Now, a word of warning, when you're ordering online, even though you might think you have your measurements down, we were expecting these were going to be the same size as those containers, and yeah, they weren't. Now, we've been using them to house some minifigure parts, but to be honest, once we get 1 or 2 items in there, it fills up pretty quickly. They're a pain to get out. It's just annoying. So what I'm going to do is get rid of 1, 2. We'll probably still keep the stickers and these separate ones here, but we'll get the minifigure parts here into them. And basically these will become bulk bins for minifigure parts, just living up there. We should fit 2 quite nicely. Yeah, they are the same ones that we use for these ones, which fit nicely under there. So that was something we did. We also picked up a couple of, figured it out for you, D&D figures from a shop on special. So adding a couple more of those to the store. And all of this is now going to go into our bulk. And we're going to start, as we said before, on identifying some more minifigure parts. All is good in the world, people. Right under this minifigure here was this bad boy, Spider-Man 99. This one here is an $80 minifigure. And we found some good ones. We found a Sandman, Roggle, Scarecrow, which is a $14 one, and that legs and shoulder quiver piece that I mentioned before, a $14 Masako. Great haul once again. And as I mentioned, if you haven't checked out our secrets to haul videos, yeah, this one didn't really count. I just got lucky on this one. Let's go. Friday afternoon in the store, and we've just had a parts order arrive from a New Zealand store, and I have to say, that's just impeccably packed. It's putting me to shame a little bit. I mean, I try to pack a little bit better than Lego, and Lego dump everything in my bag. I try and, have a little bit of individual bags and split new and used, but I think, people buying from Lego, they're expecting a certain standard. And yeah, brilliant packaging and things. So big shout outs to Build Squad. So if you're in New Zealand and after parts, fairly new store, I think, but good quantities. So definitely go and check them out and order from them. Real quick turnaround as well. So a big thank you for that. Some of these parts are going to go and finish a Star Wars mock that we're planning on doing. Might do a separate video on that. I think it'll be quite cool. And the two things that we're after was these two dark red pieces here, and that's going to finish our brick heads that was missing some parts. So good on there. Waiting for another one as well to turn up from another Bricklink seller for some parts and things we're going to add to the shop. And here's part 2 of our order. Big bag of Technic pins, just restocking. Number of white tiles and transparent red seem to be taking out. Lots of different coloured plant pieces and some different tiles and things. Some of these will be going for the mock. Some of them will be going into the store. So good little haul here. Most of these ones are the mock pieces, which is great. And we'll add that into the store later on today. And some good uploading this week. So we've hit our 4,000 goal. In fact, we've smashed it out over 6,000, which is great. Obviously helped a little bit with the delivery that came in today. But there's been a lot happening over this side as well. I've decided to finally, as watchers of the channel will know, take our modified plates box, which is a lot of lots, and somehow got to part it out. I've tried to do it as best as I could. I have no decent method for this, so if anyone has a good method for modified plates, please comment below in the comments and help me out here. But what I've tried to do, obvious things like studs, jumpers, tried to do things like a hole in the middle, rail bits, basically trying to get as many lots as I could without going deep diving. But we know there's so many different varieties, and this does seem to be the if I wasn't sure, it's jumped in here. So we'll see what we can do to get into some kind of upload. It does look like we'll get a couple of categories in, which would be great, just to try and clear some space again at the bottom. And if you're doing your own store and sorting used, I wonder as well, if you did have a bigger Lego sorter, tipping that in there would go a long way to help sort it. But unfortunately, our one's just too small for a box this size. And our friends who are sorting the Lego, another bulk lot for us, I had a good inkling that it wasn't going to fit in this one, so I figured we may as well part that out. But yeah, let me know what you do in the comments below, what kind of systems you have for when you get larger categories, what kind of sort you do. I definitely don't want to go by colour, but yeah, getting into a little bit better part type than this would be a good start. And the setup has begun for reorganising our minifigures. Most of our minifigures are in bags that were sitting in drawers, but just as I was going through the list on our Bricksaw file, I can see, as most people do, from time to time I've jumped around with different things, or it might have even been before this bag set up. We had some minifigures in containers, we got some more to get out of drawers. This, for some reason, had no bag. This is the kind of thing that you've just got to expect when you're doing reorganising. So we shut the store, and I've got a list of all the minifigures on the file there, all of our used minifigures, and the plan is to use these base plates and essentially stack them every second one with a price point, obviously sort of marking it up a little bit for a market for lower figures, but keeping it fairly similar to Bricklink for those upper figures, and sort of maybe providing some sort of tileage or something between. And then what I think I'm going to do is either use a little brick at the front with a printed label sticker for the price, or a tile just so people can see when they're looking down at it. At this stage I've got 3, but looking at the number of figures, it's going to be more. Obviously these are a 32 by 32 base plate. You know, we're going to come in, so you know, I expect maybe to get about 14 there, and then maybe going across maybe 10. So I guess we probably, you know, with 3 base plates hitting pretty close to the amount of figures that we have, but we may space that out as well. The other thing I'm thinking of doing is making sure that they're in theme, so that, you know, all the friends figures are on the line, city figures are on one base plate. Just makes it a little bit easier for, I think, a customer when they're coming over to look, rather than just trying to scan through a big range of things. It's roughly in the theme. Also is going to help us when we're picking, because then we can just put them in the row and we'll know, oh, that's Lord of the Rings figure, it's in that drawer. Easy with the remark. Still haven't quite thought about what I'm going to actually write as a remark. Obviously, you know, might have base plate 1, 2, 3, but then going on from that, just to make it not too complicated, but also not too much detail, so that we're, you know, having to manually do that every single figure. The way that we're doing these ones previously, which has worked for us if you're doing a Bricklink store, is just writing bag 8, chucking it in with a permanent label on that. But because we don't have the labels on them, the bags will be separate. We'll keep it to the side. So yeah, still kind of half thinking through what I'm actually going to do while I'm doing it, but we'll see what we do and get back to you a bit later. So here's a look at the first setup that I'm thinking for our minifigures, and just looking at the lists of what we have, a majority of our figures are obviously going to be under $5, or, you know, $5 price range, so having big spaces for them. And the idea is that they'll sort of stack every second one with a sort of gap down the middle, so having 3 of those, so it's about half the base plate, and then different price points for figures. Now in terms of from a Bricklink perspective, knowing that it's M1A, M1B, M1C, for my mind it's just minifigure plate 1A, it allows us to then quickly go and find that figure when we're picking, and so it's not too complicated. I also think if you're coming over to a craft stall or market stall and you're looking at this, it's quite clear for the price points going back, and that black does kind of help distinguish that. You notice on this side here that we've got these little panels sitting up there. Good recommendation from a friend to put more expensive minifigures sitting on there so they're not stuck to the base plate. Just helps with that wear. And again, each of these will then probably need individual pricing because they are a bit more expensive. So having one set up like that, slowly working my way through this one, and we'll see how much we can fit on the 2 base plates before then we go and see how many more we need. Right, we're definitely getting there, but I think I've grossly underestimated the amount of time that this takes to set up. The good news is at the end of this, obviously it's going to be lovely and organised whenever we take into a market, nice and simple, putting on the table, see where it is. We sell this one or this one, we know the count back. It's going to be very easy to take them in and out of the store, but the setup is just ridiculous. And I had a thought about, you know, I normally send in orders in a bag like that, and you know, each minifigure gets its individual one, and it does change my system, I guess. Rather than bagging every single one when they go into the store, I just bag it and put the label on when I sell. So it does make a little bit of a simpler process, I think, for that part of it, but yeah, it's taken a long while to set up. I also started doing some black tiles here, and I've run out. I don't have many left over there, so that's going to be something that maybe we look at putting an order through, or having a look through our bulk. Now we're just working through some of our more expensive figures, and a couple of suggestions again was to use one of these sort of panels with the divider, rather than sticking the minifigure straight on the stud. Holds it still in place, but obviously it's a bit nicer, and then lifting the torso up a little bit. And one thing I thought to do as well, which I thought would be a good solution, is any minifigure where there's a slight issue. For example, this minifigure is a $110 minifigure. However, there is that slight crack. I mean, you can barely even see it on the camera, on the torso. Besides that, the minifigure's in great condition, very rare. Just putting that little dot there just helps remind us that there's an issue with the minifigure. Obviously, we're pricing it down a little bit, and that way it's a good one when we're at markets, just to remind people. I imagine some people wouldn't be too fussed. But again, some people would. So getting there, we've got half of this base plate done. We've just started setting up from there. Going to have to place an order for some more of these, and definitely a lot more black tiles, or look at what we've got. And the aim is to have all 5 of these finished by the end of today, and all in these drawers, which means we have to reorganise these drawers as well. It's been a day of reorganising, and because the store is shut, we've had no orders, so it's just one of those days, and a bit of a slower week anyway. So probably a good time to do some reorganising and then smash into next week. So we've got some help as well now, and the help is proving extremely helpful because we're finding the next one on the list and then handing it over to me. And then if we swing around this way, we're then changing the remarks, opening the package,
and easy peasy.
Yes, easy peasy, and then labelling it nice and quickly. So this one's even managing to get them in the right spots.
Ooh.
I think I might just go over break and leave it to it.
What?
And there we have our finished organisation of the minifigures, all 350 odd, except for this bag here, which we still have to do. So 5 base plates was definitely not quite enough, was it? And so we're gonna have to order a couple more, and definitely a few spaces there for some more expensive figs. So we'll be on the hunt for those in the next hauls. We did say we're going to do a store tour now, but we've run out of time for the week. So see you next week. And as always, what do you want them to do?
Don't forget to subscribe, Kiwi Brick Exchange.
Thanks for all the support. We'll catch you next week.